Welcome to the human CENTIPOD.
He reopens the beach, and the mayor's closed it, and he's an asshole, period.
That's John Reynolds talking into his phone once again, constantly using the audio voice, making me think he's talking to me when, in fact, he's talking to his phone. Hi, John Reynolds. How are you?
Hi, Carmen Lynch. I'm good.
Welcome to the Human Centipod, everybody. Do you think it's already time to say everybody, like we have more than one person listening?
Probably not.
Okay, whatever. How are you?
Well, I was thinking about podcasts, actually, before we started this one. This is our third one, which means we'll end up on iTunes finally. Woo!
Yay,
a dream realized.
rate us 5 stars. Keep going.
And I don't listen to any. I listen to Sam Harris, not waking up, the morning after, whatever the fuck he calls it. And he's like a political kind of philosopher-y type guy. That's the only one I listen to. Every comedy podcast I've ever tried to listen to, I can't.
Yeah, but we've talked about Joe Rogan and how good it is, and Mark Maron's.
I can't even listen to that.
You know what I think the difference is? Radio, you could just jump in your car and just hit one button, and then like radio stations would come on. Podcasts, you have to search, and I think people are lazy. I don't want to search.
But so many people listen to them. And yet, here's my real beef against podcasts. Is that it's just fucking radio, and everybody acted like they discovered the fucking wheel, and they still do. And
we do now that we have one.
Yeah, no, we're just doing this because we have nothing else to do. And, you know, I don't give a fuck if people listen or not. My life is over.
I care. Please listen. Thanks. Keep going.
I love the idea that people would just turn off after what I said.
Yeah.
And then right as they're going to turn off, you said, no, please listen. They stayed on.
And they stayed on.
Anyway, I hate podcasts. So let's keep going with this one.
All right, but this one's fun. But don't you feel like it's kind of venting, too, and it's therapeutic and all that bullshit? Okay, so let's start. Okay, great.
But just for us. All right,
yes.
Whatever.
Now, how is this quarantine going for you? Because I found that my demons are stronger than ever because I don't have distractions like traveling to keep me away from my own mental problems. And I am complaining about things that I don't think I would ever complain in this first world country.
Well, that should bring us into our first section of the podcast right now. First world problems in third world conditions.
First world problems
in third world conditions.
Now, we should say that we're recording the week that Dr. Birx, I think I'm saying her name right, one of the health experts that is out there with Trump all the time, she has advised to not even go to the grocery store this week. That's how bad this week is going to be.
Does this week start right now, or does it start Monday morning? Can I still go today?
You can. I would not go. The second that she announced that, which I can't remember, was yesterday or whatever, I would say it was already too late. If you had gone to a grocery store, you were probably already fucked. But you're supposed to at least stay out of it for a week, maybe 2 weeks. Where we are in the undisclosed location, probably 3 weeks. So we're already running out of some stuff in the undisclosed location.
We don't have milk.
That are leading to some first world problems and third world conditions.
How do you eat your cereal without milk?
That's one, right? Makes you feel like a fucking douchebag even complaining about it, right? Some people don't even have cereal.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
But whatever, you only have yourself, right? You only live in this body. And I'm pissed off. I want some milk. Now, here's what I did today.
It's a good time to be breastfeeding. Go ahead.
Yes, for adults. To be the whatever.
I was just saying to be the supplier of the milk.
And
but keep going.
I was saying to be the recipient. We had pancakes for breakfast this morning. There were a lot left over, so they were.
That was yesterday, by the way. But keep going.
Those pancakes were a day
old.
old.
That was yesterday.
All right, this makes this even worse. So I took 2 of them out of the fridge from their saran wrap, and I put mustard on them, and then put liverwurst in between them, and had a liverwurst pancake sandwich. First world problem in a third world country.
The segment is called Third World Condition, John.
First world problems
in third world conditions.
This one I said to my sister, so it was natural. I didn't even think about it because she's trapped in Barcelona. They can't even leave the house or they get fined. And I said, she goes, are you going for a walk? And I said, it's raining, so I can't. And she was like, oh, poor baby, can't even go for a little walk. It's raining. Isn't that mean? I didn't even
sorry.
realize that.
I'm just horrified by your impression of your sister. It frightened me. It was supposed to be cute and funny, and it frightened me.
Okay. Do you have any more? 'Cause
Nope.
I have more.
What do you have? I have more. I can't remember them.
Part of me is this is so annoying. I feel like we're gonna lose our 3 listeners if I say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it can always be deleted. But I feel like we're eating better during this quarantine than you and I eat when we have jobs in our home.
Yeah.
We eat frozen food all the time. We should eat healthier.
Because we're running around. We can't spend the time cooking. We're learning to cook more.
We are learning to cook.
We mentioned that before. We're still taking recipes from people.
Yeah.
If you have any.
No one's really given us any recipes.
No, we've gotten
one. And it was for Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and I don't think he was even a listener to the podcast. He had heard that
but
we
I
wanted.
appreciate it. I know he was your friend.
He heard
he is your friend. He didn't die. He's alive.
Yes. None of my friends have died yet, thank God.
I have a few friends who have had COVID already and have survived. So, some of which I was surprised. You know, if I had to tell them, I think you're going to die, because I didn't think they were healthy enough to live, but they made it.
Oh, and you didn't say that to them?
No, because they didn't tell me until after they got rid of it.
Well, that was fortunate.
And very smart of them.
Mm.
Okay, here's another first world problem in third world conditions.
Did you finish the thought about the food we're eating?
Well, I was just saying
we're eating well. That's not a first world problem. That's a first world.
That's a problem.
That's just being first world in a third world.
Well, I think what I'm saying is that
condition.
the way we eat in Queens is third world.
Oh, I see.
And
so
right
there was
now we're
nothing
eating first world.
Got it.
Try and keep up. Okay. The last one, sending love to you, is, oh, boo-hoo, I can't watch the movie because it's my turn to do the dishes.
Yes. If you're just joining us, we all have, there's like 8 people in this undisclosed location, mostly my family. And we all have chores. We're just short. We don't have a chore wheel, thank God, because that would have been
A chore wheel?
Yeah,
Is that like the Wheel of Fortune where you
except
spin
not
the wheel?
fun. Yeah.
And you don't make money?
Whatever it lands on is your chore. We actually just had a couple of house meetings and divvied out chores. And so, of course, that involves washing dishes. And I got to say, now that you've said that, that really bums me out. That's a serious first world problem in third world.
That we have to do the dishes?
Conditions.
Which part?
That we have to do dishes while the rest of the house is watching a movie.
I know, but the good thing is that we have a dishwasher, and at home in our regular life we don't have a dishwasher. So this has been pretty nice.
True, but because there's 8 of us, it takes forever to load that dishwasher. And the person who kind of owns the undisclosed location is anal about how to load the dishwasher and everything. So I am a true douchebag for complaining about this, but it is a pain in the ass to load that dishwasher while other people are watching a movie that I could be watching.
Yeah, but
I agree
thank
with
God
you.
we rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think people are sick of our problems because they're dumb.
Oh,
right?
They should have been sick of them.
Yeah, so we're going to keep going, okay?
Yeah.
Feedback from the previous episode.
What I wanted to say was that we got some positive feedback, not about my sexy voice, so please try again next time. But your mother is so funny. And we have things that she said, and someone appreciated her, what she said in the last episode.
Is that true?
I don't remember which one of your friends said that, but
Oh one of my friends said it. Yes, that's true. Well, we're fortunate in this undisclosed location to have a bidet in one of the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And my this isn't anything my mother said. It was just a nightmarish situation where I had to explain to her how to use the bidet.
But not with her pants down.
No, thank God. But I did have to make it clear that you're going to need to wear your glasses every time you go to the bathroom, because there's a series of buttons that you need to read that are going to be next to your thigh. And so then I showed her the buttons. And then I forgot about it as quickly as I could, because just explaining anything to your mother that has to do with going to the bathroom should be forgotten immediately. And then a day later, I said, "How's it going with the bidet?" And she said, "Oh, it's great. And I've even got it worked out to a little dance I do on the toilet."
Wait, can you do the whole thing before the dance and do her voice?
Here's a pet peeve I have doing this podcast with you. You tell me to do things that I don't remember ever happening.
Okay,
but
this
you
is how
remember
she said it.
So you tell it.
Okay, but don't be mad.
Tell it!
We're a couple. Okay, so I got to find it on my phone. Oh, okay. So she walks in and she's explaining how you explained to her how to use the bidet. And she goes, "That bidet is great. You just have to move around." And then she starts shaking her little butt.
Right. But now the more strange thing about it is that I was telling my son that you have to I had to tell him all about this too. We're doing this bidet, of course, to save on the white gold toilet paper. And we should just do it anyway. Bidets are better for you. And I was telling, she overheard me telling my son, you got to kind of rock back and forth and let your butt cheeks separate enough so that that jet stream of water can get in there and really take care of business. And I would never tell my mother that because I just don't. That disgusts me.
You've said way worse things to your mother.
I know, but that kind of intimacy.
Uh-huh.
Of talking buttholes with my mother is just too much for me.
All you have to do is tell her to touch her toes because that immediately opens up your butt.
Okay, great. But again, I just said I would never talk to her about
I'll tell her to
buttholes,
touch her toes.
Okay, so you can do that. But she came out. She had overheard me with my son, and then she came out and she said what you said, and then she did the dance, and it's basically my mother was doing a butthole dance. That's the dance she does on the bidet to open up her butthole to get the jet stream of water in there, and that I will live with for the rest of my fucking life. COVID, take me now.
And she looked like she was really, really enjoying it, which I think was the most disturbing part.
She loved it. She came up with a little song too while she was doing it.
And now she hangs out in the bathroom all day. But I do
facing the other way on the toilet.
Ew. I have to say,
it's hitting her clit. If you didn't get it at home, the jet stream hits my mother's clit. Can this fucking thing get more disturbing? No one listens to this shit anyway.
They will now. This one's called "Listen to My Clit" or whatever it's called. Anyway, speaking of clits,
listen to my clit.
Like there are so many buttons on that bidet, and I grew up with a bidet in Spain because I grew up in Spain. And it was just really just a faucet that was like up to your kneecaps.
Yeah.
And you would just have to like lay your ass in there.
Right.
And when I was a kid, I was like, what is this thing for? And we were always told it was to wash your feet with.
Why?
Because I don't know. Maybe they were just too polite to be like, you
Who's
rinse your
they?
ass. My family, my aunts and uncles. And
so
everybody.
they also did not want to have an intimate conversation with
Correct.
you about. So you can relate to what I'm going through with my mother
I know.
this whole fucking time, and you don't give me that empathy?
He's not usually this angry, everybody. Hold on a second. It's different because with your mom and you, now that I've lived with you guys for 3 weeks, I know how intimate, like how the things you say to her. So it doesn't sound like this would have been an issue. And I don't want to continue on that. I want to talk about the pleasure in my butthole.
Please
now,
do.
when I lay on the bidet,
God
lay
damn,
on
yes.
it, whatever.
Slower.
There are buttons. Your brother has a nice bidet. It should be the bidance because you just
The
really
bidets!
you just like slowly maneuver
The bidets!
the stream into the channel, which is called your colon. And
I didn't know you nicknamed your butthole the channel.
It feels
If you,
the
one of my
English
brothers,
channel.
one of my brothers could call his the English channel. You beat me to it. Go ahead.
Anyway, and then you hit stop, and there's one that says front, right? It doesn't say vagina; it just says front.
No, the rear doesn't say butthole.
But that one feels so good. Which one's your favorite button?
I would never hit the front. I have a penis.
That's true.
The front is only for ladies, right? I guess you could wash your cock down there.
I
with
mean,
that
do you
thing.
stick your cock in the hole when
I've
you're
stuck
sitting?
it in. I've stuck it in many holes, and I
In the
would not be
toilet hole.
afraid of sticking it into a hole. But
Would you stick it in the bin, in the basin, whatever
in
it's
the
called?
basin, no, because
In
that
the
water's
bowl?
cold.
Well, your dick's not going to touch the. How long? Oh, I've seen your dick.
Can
Can you believe I said that? How long is your dick? Okay, I know how long it is. Let's continue because we've been on this for a long
All
time.
right, let me tell one more mom story.
Okay.
She did this, which was I thought very funny the other day. She was watching something on TV because that's all she does, and it was a lake, and there was a lot of wind on the lake, and she went, "Oh, that lake is running really fast. That it's running so fast. There's white caps And then she goes, funny what you notice when you're bored. And then she took this long pause and she goes, what makes white caps? She didn't know about the wind.
2 nights ago at dinner, all of us are eating there. And what does she say?
Oh, she said, you have your uncle's lips.
To who did she say that?
To my son. I should have framed that story better.
Yeah. Start
it was
over.
This is what happens when you say you tell the story.
Okay, I'll tell
Just
it.
tell it.
Okay.
Why don't you tell it?
Why is he so angry? It's only the 3rd episode. It's not like we have established mid-sentence. It's not like we've established our podcast relationship yet. Okay? This is the honeymoon phase of our podcast relationship.
Well, I think I've gone past the honeymoon phase and right into the we have 5 kids phase.
Okay, that's nice. Anyway, so we're sitting there having dinner, right? And it's very quiet now for some reason. And then your mom goes, oh my God, you have your uncle's lips. And your son looked embarrassed.
Yeah, he was, but he would be embarrassed if we just talked to him normally.
Now, last time we spoke about Paco the bird, right?
Yes. Mm.
And Paco made some sounds, and we actually thought it was your mom.
That's right. I don't know if we said this last time, but Paco, as most people know, parrots can imitate people and sounds, and you can teach them words and everything. The one thing that Paco has learned very well is how to imitate a car alarm, because she is a New York City.
We did the car
parrot.
alarm last time.
We did, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm really realizing is that my mother sounds like a car alarm. Because in certain parts of the undisclosed location, if you hear Paco in the distance, it sounds like, and it almost sounds like, John! My
That's
mother
really
calling
good.
for me, right?
Now do that right into the microphone.
John!
That's beautiful. And there have been several times where we're like, yes, can I get you a glass of water?
And she's like,
I
didn't
don't
say
know.
anything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking to me for?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you present? Do you feel like you're present?
Not really.
Why? Tell me.
I'm drawing cartoons.
Okay.
The coronavirus hits, and now I have all the time in the world to draw cartoons, and my drawing tablet quits on me, and I'm going to start crying, and fucking Photoshop quits on me. And I spend pretty much the last 3 weeks not drawing, but doing what I hate the most, trying to be IT to myself. Finally get the drawing tablet to work. Just now got the Photoshop to work, except I had to not get Photoshop to work. I got the new Photoshop, and I'm going through that thing that everybody goes through who's not tech savvy. And I'm not tech retard either. I know some shit about tech. But what I hate most, and most people will agree with me about this, when you get a new version of software and they change everything just because they can. I don't know why they do it other than to torture us. So I'm going through all these steps on Photoshop to find the most basic fucking things. And anyone who has Photoshop 2020 will understand. The fucking paint bucket, gone. They fucking hid it for some reason. I needed 2 fucking YouTube videos to figure that out. Plus, the way to ask a question on Google in just the right way to get the answer is maddening to me for shit like that. If I sound like an old fuck who deserves to die of COVID-19, go fuck yourselves, because you will be in my shoes, I swear to you. So that anger and fucking just grief that I'm feeling about my former fucking Photoshop and everything is consuming me right now.
Well, it's a hard time to feel this way because you feel like you have all the time in the world.
Right.
But at the same time, you feel like you're wasting time.
Yeah, I'll give another old man reference. The Twilight Zone episode with Burgess Meredith. Time Enough at Last, it's called. World ends. He's a reader. He steps on his only pair of glasses. I ruined it for you. Fuck you if you didn't see it. It's been around for 70 years. And he can't read.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, thankfully, I was able to basically make my own pair of glasses, if you will. And I've got the thing going, but it's like, that was 3 weeks wasted. I was probably the only one in the country going, oh, please don't find the vaccine yet. because I need this fucking time to draw.
That's going to be the title. Please don't find the vaccine yet.
I'm in a better mood.
I feel good. Keep venting about it.
Good. I mean, but it's venting about stuff that no one gives a fuck
Who gives
about.
a fucking shit? No one's listening to our podcast.
Yeah, they're not. But you don't give a fuck about this. This is
I
boring
don't
to you.
care. No, it's not because I care about you.
Oh my God, that's so loving.
No, I want you to be happy.
It's infuriating, isn't
And
it?
I feel like I'm trying to not be annoying, but take all the negative stuff and turn it into a positive.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is like your comic strips are about some tech-tard who can't do anything.
Oh, you mean I should?
Yes,
Write
vent
about
it.
that.
Write about it.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
And I just keep thinking I got to get back to literally the drawing board and fucking churn out this stuff.
Well, you have these eyes that when you're present you can tell, and when you're far away you can tell.
Well, how are they looking now?
Well, that's why I said that.
But how are they looking now?
They're a little closer,
I
but
getting closer?
they're still out in the wilderness a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
but I understand.
This is consuming me, and it was happening right before we started to record. I was dealing with the paint bucket thing was the last thing I dealt with. There were like 2 or 3 other things just like that they're just hidden or reimagined. Oh, the shift key for proportioning the size of stuff.
Yeah.
You have to go back into preferences and click this fucking button that says please allow the legacy shift button thing to work. Basically them admitting that we changed it from the original for no fucking good reason.
Yeah.
But you got to go on this Easter egg hunt to find this fucking button to get it back. See how boring? You talk about the far away look. You are in Fiji in your eyeballs right now.
But I don't use Photoshop. But honestly, what I was thinking was I can't believe they still have the paintbrush, because I remember that when I was in the 3rd grade.
Paint bucket.
Whatever, the paint bucket.
Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking of the paintbrush.
Oh God, it's just infuriating. And there's nothing funny about it, as all the listener can attest to. It's just not funny. It doesn't put me in a light mood. It's infuriating, and it's like another first world problem in a third world country condition, where I have the luxury to bitch about something like this, or even be able to say to myself, who gives a fuck? But they better not come up with a vaccine anytime soon so I can get this other work done. Because there is a weird sort of pause to time.
There is.
Right? That we're all experiencing. Now, if you don't, luckily I've got some work coming in. You've got some work coming in. So the money issue right now is not dire. But obviously we're seeing pictures of people in New York City riding. The subways are packed. Those people have to go to their jobs. A lot of them are doing essential jobs. Maybe some of them are fucking working underground in non-essential jobs, I don't know, to get the money that they need to fucking live. And here I am up at this undisclosed location bitching and moaning about Photoshop 2020.
Well, what I keep thinking about is that if this ended tomorrow, did I spend my time in a way that I'm proud of? You know what I mean? Because it feels like a long nap where you're like, or just a bad vacation.
Yes.
Okay. So to me, it's nice to be like, oh, I'm so glad I spent those 3 weeks watching movies that I'm never going to see, or all these books that I wanted to read.
Right.
You know what I mean? But instead, I'm doing all the same shit I did when there was no virus.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is annoying to me, that
Very
I
annoying.
didn't spend this time doing stuff that I'm not going to do when things get back to normal.
Right.
So I keep telling myself, stop living and do something silly.
Yeah. And then you'll hear my mother in the background.
It's time for movie review.
Yeah, so we saw Mandy with Nicolas Cage, which I guess came out last year or 2 years ago. I don't know.
Who cares?
Time's an illusion. And I loved it.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was, it's, again, half the people that we share the undisclosed location with, they just have something against movies. Again, the wrong type of people to be around during this pandemic, because that's what you're stuck doing.
But do you feel like they really feel that way about movies? Because I feel like half of the time they just like saying this is dumb, this is dumb.
The first thing out of their mouth always with any movie, it doesn't matter what genre it is that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. And that's the whole fucking point of a movie.
Well, I have to say the part that bothered me about the movie, and I am going to give a little bit away, were those 3 people that look like monsters.
Yeah.
For a while, I thought they were monsters.
Yeah,
They were people in
still might be.
costumes.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it could have gone either way still with that.
Because
Yeah,
one of them, I have to say, had a cock made of a sword. We called him Sword Cock in the movie.
Yeah, that's right. That was our little nickname for old.
And then once the sword, because at first I didn't see it, and then I was like, is that a sword cock?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like him now.
Right.
But it wasn't because it was a cock.
Right.
It just seemed like, okay, this is like the Invisible Man. It was like a costume he made.
Yeah. It was just hilarious to think of these like drugged out biker freaks, murderers, taking the time to make costumes. Like they're doing cosplay or something, if you put it that way. That's why I wanted to believe that they were monsters. And Nicolas Cage, fucking brilliant as always. He can do that elevated, high concept-y acting to every role. His eyeballs are just fucking giant throughout the whole movie, and it's completely believable. And I would like to say that everybody who was not on board with the movie in the beginning was on board by the end, because one thing that those people that we share the house with do love is lots of violence.
How did your son feel about the movie?
So my son, if you don't know, is 11. And
our sound engineer.
we had to keep, our sound engineer. And we had to keep pausing I had to pause maybe 2 or 3 times to say, are you okay with this? Because I'm a terrible parent, and I think it's fine. My one stipulation, and this is true, with movies and children, when I was growing up, it was my parents would never allow me to see anything rated R, right? Didn't matter what it was. If it was rated R, I couldn't see it.
Can I interrupt real fast?
Yeah.
When PG-13 came out, were your parents strict about the fact that you had to be 13? Same.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
So they were very strict on ratings, okay? I'm not like that. My son can watch any rated movie as long as it's not porn. And the stipulation is that it has to be good. Now, that's a problem if I haven't seen the movie yet and we're watching it together for the first time. But if it feels like it's a pretty bad movie, I will just turn it off and say that's because I would do it for myself anyway. So as a result, he has never seen the Star Wars prequels, and he has wanted to, and I have not allowed him to because they're fucking awful.
That's why I haven't seen them.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the George Lucas one. I'm not a huge Star Wars.
The first ones that were ever made?
No.
Oh.
The prequels.
Okay.
See, I'm not a real sci-fi nut job, so I don't even know if I'm saying them right. So the 3 George Lucas ones after the 3 original ones.
Yeah.
The fucking CGI ones where Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader Jr., right, and the rise of Darth Vader. They're fucking terrible, and I don't want my son getting those poorly structured narrative pieces of shit in his fucking subconscious or anywhere near him. But he can look at titty and hear the F word, fuck, as much as he wants, as long as it all hangs on a good fucking movie.
And how's that been working for him?
Who knows? We have to check in 10 years and see if he murdered anybody.
Yesterday, he seemed a little scared during the movie, which is cute.
Yeah.
He, runs over to you.
I thought you were going to say yesterday he seemed like he might murder somebody.
Oh. Sometimes he does have that look.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when my mom goes, "You got lips just like your uncle's lips."
But they're chapped.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so from 1 to 10, don't say it yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1, 2, and then say the number.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Yeah.
1, 2,
100.
8.2.
It's time for games, yeah.
Go ahead. I love
Okay,
that-
so this game is this is a short form improv game called One Word Story. Carmen and I used to play this a lot. We don't do it as much anymore, so we'll see.
We
how it
sound
goes.
like we were just one of those couples who didn't want to get to know each other, and we would just be like, let's play games together.
That's how couples do get to know each other.
Really?
Through
Aw.
gameplay.
Okay.
I actually don't like games that much, and then when we started dating, we played a lot of games. We do a lot of board games. I never did board games
I love board games.
before you. Never.
Really? Even as a child?
Oh, yeah, as a child, yeah,
Yeah.
but not as an adult.
As a lover?
A lover of board games.
Yeah.
So this game is one-word story. You get a suggestion, and then we each take a turn spitting out one word to try to tell a cohesive story. Hopefully it finds its own ending as we go.
Okay.
All right? Ready?
God.
So I'll look around
Okay.
for a suggestion. Okay, you ready? So
Just
I'll
don't
say
say
the
bear.
suggestion, and then you use that to inspire. I won't say bear. You use that to inspire your first word in the story. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Root.
Canal. Oh, wait, that's not the beginning of a story.
Already
Can we start over?
to an amazing start.
I'm not an improviser.
But we could have kept going. We could have
How
kept
would you
going.
start with canal?
Street.
Oh, okay, that's true. All right, so start over. Pick something you're looking at.
Okay.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Pain.
My ass. Oh, that's 2 words.
This
Hold
is
on.
the second fucking
Hold
attempt.
on, I said.
Like I said, we played this a while ago.
Okay. Let's do it again. I'm
Wow.
really excited. Go.
I'm afraid.
Stop looking for bears.
I'm looking for a fucking suggestion. Timber.
Timbuktu. Keep going.
Is
My
favorite
place.
to.
Ski.
That's
Not
all
I.
do.
I.
Also,
P.
pee in
Weird.
places.
Like.
Timbuktu.
Do I start a new sentence?
I think
Okay.
that's the end of the fucking
Really?
story.
I thought that was
God, No,
good.
you're not going to get better
So
than
how
that.
is this fun in improv?
It is not.
How is improv fun? Half of the
Improv's a
time,
blast because you don't ever worry about the audience. So it's like a podcast.
You don't worry about them leaving because it's so bad?
No.
Okay, I'm going to start now, okay? I'm going to think of a word.
Okay.
All right.
No, you're going to look for a suggestion.
I'm going to look for a
around this.
suggestion.
That's going to inspire. Now, watch the way I do it. That's going to inspire my first word. Go ahead. Watch how I do it.
Okay.
Watch me.
Breasts.
Okay, good. Milk.
Loves.
Saucers.
Like.
Cats.
And.
Dogs.
Chocolate.
Hates.
Saucers.
Because
Rain.
falls
Never.
on.
Spain. Wait, when does this actually make sense? How is this?
Oh, God.
How is this helping the podcast?
How is this helping improv as a fucking form of entertainment?
But can I just ask you something? When you do this in an improv class,
Yeah.
is this just to see who can think of a word? Like, what is the point of this stupid game?
The point is to take people's money for the class.
Okay, let's do my favorite game from
Yes.
short porn.
Yeah,
Short
short
porn
porn.
improv.
I love it.
Okay, when I moved to New York, I went to Chicago City Limits.
Yes.
And it was
God rest their
so
soul.
much fun.
Yeah.
And one of the things we did was sing. But instead of a one-word thing,
Right.
it was a line.
Okay.
So think of a beat, right? And we're
Right.
going to go back and forth and each do a line, and it has to rhyme.
Do you take a suggestion?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the suggestion that's gonna inspire your first line of song.
Of a jingle, and just try to keep up with the jingle, okay? I mean, let's try it.
Keep up. And then I do the second line.
Yes.
And
then
try to
I'll-
rhyme
and then
it?
I'll go back and forth, yeah.
All right. Bush.
When I'm in the shower.
And I feel my hands go lower.
That doesn't rhyme at all. And I'm out of power was the line.
What's the line?
Oh my God, do you know how to rhyme? Okay. All right. I'm going to think of a word and you start. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Mustache.
Okay, got it. I love a parade.
Especially in the shade.
That's why I always dance.
Even when I have no pants.
So pick up your sneakers and don't forget your toothbrush.
Because everybody wants to make such a fuss.
This is horrible. This is horrible. This is a new low for podcasts everywhere. How fucking horrible this is.
Okay, the point was to do something like this, okay? I swear to God, the point of the exercise,
yes.
but you laughed a lot harder than your stupid word stories.
Oh, God.
The point was to come up with a jingle that everyone knows. Like, I saw Bob and he was with Fred.
Wait, you never said that that's what it was. You
I
just
said a jingle.
You said, make sure it's a jingle. You talk just like my mother. Make sure it's a jingle. And I was like, okay, so it's going to be a commercial?
Okay, now.
That's not a recognizable song would have been the way to put that.
Okay, I'm
it should
Spanish.
That has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it does. Okay, let's try it one more time.
No.
Are you serious?
That is the end of the segment. I'm not doing this anymore.
John, you've really been an inspiration today on the episode, trying to to maintain your anger in the right places, but also venting. So,
and Carmen, you were also part of the podcast.
wow.
So do we have any parting words?
Wow. Okay. I'm a Carmen comedian for everything. And please follow us and rate us on our future iTunes that's coming soon. And it's the Human Centipod on Instagram, human Centipod.
Yes, and please follow my comics on Instagram at A Fistful of Babies. I will have them drawn, hopefully, by the time you hear this.
And Fistful has one L. Is there anything you want to say to the world before we go? Jesus Christ.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.